There is this perfect holy God, and he made the heavens and the earth, and at the apex of that, he made man in his own image. And he put man in this perfect garden. He made this perfect world for man, and he gave man one world. And man, in his wisdom, decided that he could choose what was right and wrong. He could he could decide what to do and what not to do. And so he broke that one rule, and because of that, because God is holy and perfect and just, God had to separate himself from man, and he removed him from the garden. But God still loved man, he still provided for man. Now, a little while later, mankind had grown, but had fallen away from God. But there was one person in his family that were following God. His name was Noah. And God saw how wicked the world was, and he decided he was going to destroy the world. But because Noah was following God, he saved Noah. He caused a flood to happen, but it shown Noah to build an ark and to save him and his family. And then after that, the earth was repopulated, but it had fallen away from God again. Except there was a man named Abraham, and God took Abraham and he made him his people, and he as an example to show the rest of the world what it was like to follow God. But even though Abraham was God's chosen people, they also fell away, and they ended up in slavery and to Egypt. And God sent another person, because the people were crying out. God sent another person to redeem the people, to bring them out of Egypt, to save them from Egypt. And his name was Moses. And Moses went in, and not a perfect man, but he was used by God. He brought the people out of Egypt. And God did miracles and all these things to show himself real and powerful to the people. But they continued to fall away. And they would fall away, and then they would cry out to God, and God would answer their cries. And later, when they were taken to this promised land God had given them, they would fall away from God, and then they would cry out to God, and God would send people who were judges, and they would point out the sin of the people, and the people would fall back to God and cry out to God and save them from whatever danger, whatever punishment they were under.